What's up, everybody?
Wow.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? My name is Carlos, and this is...
My name is Liz, and together...
We are Project Revolution. So, we just finished our season finale, if you
Carlos,
will.
That makes me really sad.
Why is that?
Because, you're just gonna break me out of my habit right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, I got quite a bit of overtime to do. Every year we got these things called turnaround. So we're gonna do the projects, hit it hard, get some good overtime, and we'll have maybe a surprise when we come back.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right.
But yes, we definitely are bringing some surprises along with us taking a little break. So don't be alarmed where we stopped for good. We didn't.
Don't fret. We're just taking a little season break, and we'll be coming up with season 2 here within the next few weeks, hopefully around that area.
Who knows? We're not telling you guys anything. So, anyways, so Carlos.
Go on.
Last week after we finished filming and whatnot, that same week,
Which was what in the world kind of topic, what we were talking about, what's going on.
Well, I was scrolling through TikTok because I was kind of bored at work,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I know I shouldn't be doing my job, but it was one of those days. But anyways, so we had finished filming our topic, and I'm going through, somebody has sent me videos of what's going on in Brazil. Didn't you hear how there was a lightning strike on what they call Cristo Rei down there, which is a huge statue in Brazil? And I was like, no, but I saw it, but it was in the back of my mind. I was like, whatever. Then, scrolling through TikTok, I saw so if you guys know, Lent has already started. Mardi Gras was going on in New Orleans, and that concluded. Well, every year in Brazil, they do their version of Mardi Gras, and they have a topic for every year. This year was the worst.
Now I'm a little dull. Can you explain to me and maybe some viewers that don't know what exactly is Mardi Gras?
So Mardi Gras happens every year right before Lent begins. So it's for Mardi Gras here, you see the beads, and people think about the beads with being topless, and it's not. It's just this celebration.
That's a party, a big party then.
Yeah, correct.
Now before this Lent. Now what is this Lent?
Lent in the Catholic faith, and I say Catholic because it's Christianity in general.
Catholic,
but it's more done in the Catholic religion. It's where you, for 40 days, you don't do things, you renounce things for 40 days.
Oh, okay. I see.
You catching my drift?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what Lent is. But so usually before the start of Lent, you have New Orleans throws these big parties, but Brazil as well does them. And like I said, they have a theme every year, and this year their theme was biblical, but it was more demonic themed.
Demon. So Satan.
Of course.
Oh, of course. So Satanism was the
It
thing.
Was horrible.
I saw a statue or a weird looking thing that was
so
orange.
they have a demon, a Satan or whatever, what is it?
It's I don't know, weird paper mache type of...
When you're doing parades, stuff like that?
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
So they had that. I saw that, a lot of that. And then there was one that really, really got to me, was they had a guy who was dressed up as Jesus, had him all beaten up. And then they had another guy who was dressed up as a devil, who was literally just had this noose over the guy who was playing Jesus, and was just pulling him. I'm like, Lord, no. And I just had to keep, I was like, no, I don't want to see this. I'm
do know not what they do, Lord. So it's funny because I didn't see the whole thing. I saw like it showed like images here and there before before they show the whole video. Kind of like what's to come. So I saw like just like not even 2 seconds of it, and I felt repulsed. And I stopped watching, and I didn't really understand what the whole thing was until I talked to my brother, and he told me what it was about, what he saw in that video. So it was, I found it repulsive because I think I was in prayer or something, and I just grabbed my phone afterward, just gonna go to bed, and then as I saw that, I was like, ugh, it just disgusted my soul.
It was, that's exactly how I felt, and I was like, me being who I am, I love to look into things. Like, I'm very like FBI type of person.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a lot of girls, but anyways. Okay, so I kind of started like looking more into it. There was like another part of like that parade was there was this girl who was dressed up as the devil, and then a guy who was dressed up as the devil too, and they were supposed to represent Adam and Eve. I'm like, Lord, why? Okay, so that happened, I believe, February 19th or something around there.
Okay.
Well, they had that parade. Kid you not, the next day there was massive flood.
You don't mess with the Lord.
You don't.
I've even seen other videos where they're mocking God and things happen. And I think his wrath is gonna be even stronger as the people start getting darker and darker. It is real. I mean, you need to have a healthy fear of the Lord.
You do.
You need to have a healthy reverence. If you're Christian, especially, but even if you're not Christian, you should still have that reverence and that respect, because He, at the end of the day, He did create us, and in our DNA, it's pretty much His signature that He created us, and we are in the image of God. So it's,
of course, and I feel like I fear Him as much as I feared my dad when I was younger, when I was like very rebellious. But now I fear God a lot more. But then again, I'm like, I fear Him, but I love Him. But my love for Him is so much more greater than my fear.
Yes.
But I'm like, I know what I do wrong. I sit there and I pray, and I'm like, God, please forgive me for my sins, for what I did this day. And I tell Him straight out, and you know what? I know I'm forgiven at the end of the day.
Like Proverbs says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And yeah, that is true. It takes a certain wisdom to know you don't mess with the big guy right upstairs.
You don't.
He's love, he's kind, he's gentle, but he's also mighty. He's powerful, right? He created everything. He sent the devil back to the pits of hell in an instant, in a flash, boom, like that. And everybody, the big bad devil, they think he's all powerful and strong. Yeah, God instantaneously took him out with no head, with power, with might. And I think it says in the Bible, might be Revelations. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or it was like a lightning that just came down. How the devil was cast down. So yeah, that's some bad voodoo. And what happened to? It was a big flood, was it, a hurricane, or?
No, it was a big flood actually. Like,
did that kill many people, or what?
I never looked into it. I just saw all of that. I'm like, God, you know what you're doing. You know what they did wrong, and they know what they did wrong. And I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard, is that some people who were in the parade, they actually did end up dying.
Oh wow! So yeah, that's true. That's a scary thought. And a lot of people do know when they do wrong. It's written in their DNA. They might not have the conviction that us Christians get when we do wrong, because the Holy Spirit is not indwelling within them, because they're not converted yet. But they do know a certain wrong, and they just start feeling like more crappier, like more this. I've seen a lot of people where they just have a sad, sore life, and they just keep doing what they do, and they know they need to change, but they're too rebellious. They want to keep doing what they're doing, either be one sin or another, and it's just it's you can see it in their face, in their lifestyle, in their expressions, how they just are so bitter and so sad and just no joy in them, and that's what happens when we astray from God. When I think it's called in the Bible apostasy, if I'm saying it right, going away from the Lord.
Okay.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Apostasy is what I want to say. So that's kind of what it is when we go away from the Lord. It's nothing good comes of it. And it's funny because that's kind of what we were talking about.
And didn't we talk about it? Didn't I ask you that a couple episodes ago? Is I asked you if have you noticed a difference? Like when your faith with God is so good things end up happening to you. Like you're blessed, not just financially. You're blessed health wise. You're blessed in every single aspect of your life. Versus when you're not walking with God, your faith is kind of diminished, and you just notice like things after things keep going wrong.
Yes, and people will try to ignore and fight that. People will try to exchange the truth for a lie just so they can live in their sin, because they love their sin more than they love God. And that's I believe in my heart that God weeps, even though he lets them, he gives them up to their lusts, their indulges, their pervertedness. He gives them up. It's not that he gives up on them, it's that's what they want. So he's righteous and wise God. He said, okay, he gives them up, and when that happens, I mean, nothing but bad things come. And I believe that God weeps because God is love, and I don't think he does it in a maleficent way, in a now look at you nothing. I think he cries, and his heart's broken, I believe, when that happens.
Growing up, I've always thought like the reason why it rains, it's because God is crying.
Yeah, I remember I was in third grade, and I had a best friend. His name was Tony. He said, "You know why it rains?" And I was like, "Why?" And he said, "That's because God's crying." I was like, "You're crazy, man. Why is God crying all the time?" But you know what? Now looking back, it's like, I think his heart does break sometimes because of the way he gets rejected, and he loves everyone, but yet over half of the world, I want to say, just don't even want to acknowledge him, and even Christians who call themselves Christians don't fully embrace him. And I think that's even if we look in scriptures, I mean, he called John, his the one of the 12 disciples, his beloved one. He's the only one who called him his beloved one. So those who have an intimate relationship with God is deeper, I believe, and so that's why it's good to give up everything for God, all that we are, and take up our cross. And I mean, I've been trying to give up more things for God, and it just becomes a tighter relationship, and it's my faith grows in Him, and when your faith grows, you start seeing a ministry, and it's like when a woman is about to give birth, it's maybe might be having hard times physically, but once that barrier breaks, once the water breaks, once the dam is broken, if you will, life is given.
Exactly.
So with that being said, don't forget to
like, share, subscribe, and
hit the bell button. And tell them about the season finale.
So we just filmed our season finale, and just because that's the end of season 1, please, we have surprises. At least I do. I don't know about you, Carlos.
Hopefully. I don't know. I'll come up with something.
Yeah, but we have stuff coming up, just to keep you guys more intrigued and keep you guys hooked. Because, I mean, come on. We're the favorite duo.
Oh, yeah. With that being said, actually, the favorite duo would be... Oh, no, we won't get into that.
Oh, why? Who? Go for it.
Luigi and Mario.
Of course.
With that being said, we are